Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Behind the Layers. I am your host, Kara Christensen. And here on this channel, we uncover the facts, the myths, the good, the bad, and the ugly behind the fitness, health, wellness, and beauty industry. And I am excited for today's episode because we are going to be talking about all of the craze of the fat loss shots, the semaglutides and the what is it called? The trizepatide, Wegovy, Ozempic, and Mounjaro, and also how to create your own concoction at home. Does it work? Does it not? I don't know. We shall see. So, I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and a good Monday off. I know a lot of people had Mondays off, so I hope you guys had a nice, relaxing time. It looks like here where I am, we are possibly moving into some more snow. So, that's going to be fun. But I definitely feel like, being outside, all the sunshine, spring around the corner. It's so exciting. It's my favorite time when all the flowers come in bloom, and it's just feeling like, a fresh start, new start for those of you that have been doing the magic in the secret book, the magic book with the manifestation. I am so excited about that. I have already seen such big results from it, and I hope that you guys have too. If you haven't started that, or you're looking for um, a little more enthusiasm for the year being a good one, or positivity, you need more positivity in your life, and you're just stuck or feel like you're in a rut, I highly suggest that book called The Magic. It's written by the same people who wrote The Secret, and it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, no matter what situation you're in, if you are been in a situation where you're stuck and you just feel like things haven't been going your way, or just one thing after the next, or you've got some turmoil with friends or family, or at work, this is the book for you. I'm telling you. And I'm not someone who sits around and reads books. But if it's a self-help book and it's something that can help me learn and grow and flourish, then of course I want to learn it. And it's free to do. You can even download an audio version if you don't want to sit down and actually read it. But there is some work involved. You do have to have either your strong mental capacity to remember all of the steps that you need to do, or writing it in your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, or just old school like I do, pen to paper. And you will need to be able to go through the steps. It's not a lot of time commitment. It's only like 5 minutes, maybe in the evening, because you're reading the next day's manifesto. And then you have maybe 5 minutes in the morning when you're reading over the things that you are grateful for and the things that you want to manifest in your life. It's really, really awesome. I do suggest you guys getting the book or downloading it. I think I saw that it was a free or like $1 or something like that to download on the Kindle, but it's through Amazon, and it is like $15 for the paperback, and it's called The Magic, and it's written by the same people that did The Secret. So it's like the magic in the secret. So it is a little like, campy like that, but it's got a great message, and I really do find this channel to be a one-stop shop for people that are looking for a natural, holistic, positive way to enhance your life and start living your life the best that you can have from the inside out. And I truly do believe that we can make that magic happen within us just from a little bit of effort and positivity. So, that being said, I do hope that you look into it or follow along on my pages at Kara Chris TV. That's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X. if you go on there, you'll be able to see the link to the book, The Magic. And yeah, so we started on the 1st, and today is the 18th, and it's a 28-day thing. So if you didn't start on the 1st, that's fine. Start whenever you're ready to start. And I did put the link to the book, but I also put the link to the online free version of it. So you could go along with it if you can't afford to get the book right now. You shouldn't have to miss out on greatness just because you can't afford to get something. So I did put the link where you can follow along day by day and read the book that way. But like I said, it's free to do. It's just a little bit of time and devotion and some real mental work because you're trying to change your mindset and manifest greatness in your life and all the things that your big, beautiful mind has been longing for or wishing that that was your life and wanting to have that in your life. Well, now you can do what you need to do to manifest those greatness and those great things, whether it's finances, whether it's better relationships with your friends or family, whether it's a better job, a car, a house, whatever it is that your heart desires, that's what you put in your manifestation, and that's what you put your focus on to manifest in your life. So far, I feel like it's been such a blessing. My husband and I are doing it together. You can do it with a friend or a coworker or just do it by yourself. So, I mean, nothing wrong with that. But today we are diving into a really cool topic. I know it's been out there, unless you've been living under a rock, you know about the fat shots. So, these shots are, the Ozempic, the Wagovy-Mounjaro. Those are the shots that I'm talking about. The trizepatide and the semaglutides. Those are the two different versions that there are. And what are those? We are going to dive into what they are, the difference between the three shots, and potentially how to make your own at home. You heard it right. I've been doing a deep dive, and other doctors that are holistic doctors that are talking about the same type of outcome that you can get from the Wegovy and the Ozempic and those shots, the Mounjaro, but all natural. And there are ingredients out there that can mimic the same thing without the harmful side effects. So we're going to be talking about all of that in today's episode of Behind the Layers. So thank you so much for joining. I hope that you guys are ready to absorb some knowledge because I'm about to throw a lot your way. Okay, let's go to here. I'm going to screen share this with you, and bada boom. Okay, so this is the difference. So there's several shots, and not a lot of people know. I know people have heard about the shots and know that they're out there, but a lot of people don't know what is the difference in the shots and what they do to your body. So that's kind of what we're going to cover today. I like to go to Healthline or WebMD or Mayo Clinic are really the only places that I like to go. Some people do deep dives like I do and share information that they have dug through and fact checked. So I do definitely make sure the information I give you guys is going to be tried and true and coming from a place that you can also look into and know that you're getting good, solid, unbiased information that is just about the topic. So if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe to the channel at Kara Chris TV. This is being streamed from YouTube. So if you want to head over to YouTube, hit at Kara Chris TV, hit subscribe. You have to put the @ symbol. Kara Chris, CHRIS TV. And yeah, you guys head on over there or Instagram. This is streaming from YouTube, so everything that is going to be on here is going to be on my YouTube page. And if you want to get involved in the conversation, watching it from YouTube or from Facebook is mainly the ways that I'm able from this platform. Everybody else I can't really see, but I do appreciate you guys joining in. And if you like this information or you know somebody that needs some motivation on losing some weight, getting in better health, not just losing weight for your physical, but also this channel is about clearing out your energies, your chakras, and getting yourself rebalanced and fueling your mind, your body, and your soul. All holistically. You can do it for free. It just takes some time and effort on your end, and that's it. And you can have a much better life and live a better life from the inside out. And what person doesn't want to do that with a little bit of effort, just a little tiny bit of effort, little changes. That's what I like to do here is little small hills to reach the top of the mountain, little small feats. We take one little baby step at a time. So here we go. What is the difference in these fat loss pill or uh, not pills, shots, and what do they do to the inside of your body? Let me minimize myself. I'm going to change locations of myself right there. Bada boom. Look at that. So quick, so easy. Okay. Let's see. Tirzepatide and semaglutide are type 2 diabetes drugs often used for weight loss. Tirzepatide is less expensive and may be more effective. However, the drug is still new and more research is needed. So the tirzepatide is the mainly like Mounjaro. The rest of the other ones are mainly semaglutides, which is Ozempic and Wegovy. And there it's said that the tirzepatide, the Mounjaro, is the one that is more helpful to getting your weight in check quicker. That's what it said. But what are the side effects, right? So later on, we're going to be talking about the secret ingredient in the holistic way to be able to achieve the same things without all these terrible side effects. So what are the side effects? Let's dive in. I'm going over here and I'm going to be blurry for a minute. Let me actually minimize myself. So no, I'll keep it. Okay. Moving on to this. Okay, so using medications for weight loss is becoming more common. Doctors sometimes prescribe newer type 2 diabetes drugs to help with weight management. This use of off-label meaning that doctors prescribe the drug for a use that's different from the one Food and Drug Administration FDA has approved, which is a little, people kind of go off that FDA stamp because they know it's kind of been tested and we know what the side effects are. So when you go out of the realm of the Food and Drug Administration testing it, then you're just kind of chancing on you not having extreme side effects because it hasn't been tested by the FDA or nor does it have the stamp of approval. So two drugs that doctors prescribe for weight loss are tirzepatide and semaglutide. Both drugs can help your brain feel less hungry, but there are some differences to consider with the doctor's guidance. Research is still unclear as to which of the two medications might be a better option for weight loss. So, I don't know about how you guys feel, but I definitely feel that if there is not enough research to show, I like to dive into testing things after it's already been out for at least 2 years, 3 years. There's enough people to know, okay, you've been taking this on a weekly basis. People have said if you get off of it, and it's quite expensive, if you get off of it, then you gain all your weight back. It's got terrible side effects for thyroid cancers and enlarging pancreas. So killing your thyroid is a very big deal because if you get off of it and you've killed your thyroid and now your thyroid's not functioning well for you, then you constantly have to be on this medication and who knows what the long term is, right? So let's see what some of the difference in these side effects are for this. Hold on, let me shrink myself a little bit more so I could see. There we go. Okay, so when you eat, your digestive tract releases the hormone, that one, GLP-1, which prompts your body to create more insulin. So when you're eating, right? So what that's saying is when you're eating food, your digestive system's like, okay, I'm eating food. I need to send all of what you need to break down that food into your stomach at this moment. So that's what it creates that insulin, right? So this hormone can also send fullness signals to your brain. So that's how they say, Okay, so you're eating your food, take 20 minutes, eat your food slowly. They don't tell you eat your food slowly because it digests better, which it does if you chew it up more, but it takes 20 minutes for the signals to reach from your stomach to your brain that you're all tapped out, that you're full. So that is why they say eat slowly, chew your food up really well. It does help with digest. I mean, you don't want to be swallowing half the food all chunked up, and that takes even longer for your body to work to break it down. And we're going to talk about that in a minute of why that's important. So this semaglutide is FDA approved to treat type 2 diabetes under the brand name Ozempic. Remember I talked about the two different types. So the semaglutide is the one that is supposed to take a little longer, but it's also the one that's been FDA approved, and it has been out there longer than the new one, which is Mounjaro, which they're saying happens to help out a lot quicker. But it doesn't come without its side effects, right? So Wegovy is the only semaglutide drug that's approved for use in weight management, which is very interesting, right? So there's only this one here, which is Wegovy, not Ozempic. Wegovy is approved for weight loss management, but doctors may prescribe because Wegovy has extra things. So the Ozempic has, type 2 diabetes drug, right? So it's just meant for that. So then they started thinking, okay, well, how can we make this a more user-friendly drug and put more vitamins and essentials back into a person that does not have type 2 diabetes that's going to be taking this for weight management? And lo and behold, Wegovy was born. So that's why that was the first one, Wegovy being approved to use for weight management. But doctors may prescribe the other brand name drugs off label for weight loss. Off label, meaning it hasn't been approved by the FDA and it hasn't been approved to use for weight loss management. It's off label, like, the underground market. However, people are still taking it and testing the waters with it. What is going to happen? We don't know. Let's read along. Trizepatide is a glucose-dependent, so tiny, GIP. So this is it's a peptide, right? So trizepatide is a glucose-dependent peptide. The GLP-1 receptor against agonist that mimics the GLP-1 and the GIP hormones. So what this is doing is when you take the trizepatide, which is what the Mounjaro is, it's going in and mimicking the things that your body needs to block insulin raise, block insulin resistance, block the absorption of, or turning the sugars and carbs that you eat and storing them as fat. So it's a receptor blocker, right? And that's what you're putting in there, which sounds fine and dandy, okay? But what are the side effects? How is that going to affect you long term if you're taking this? Because from what I know from my license in studying the body and my clients and working with them in nutrition and wellness over the years, is if you are taking something that starts to mimic the function of a thyroid, a gland, organ in your body, the organ starts to say, okay, well, we don't need double, so I'm going to stop. It's coming in anyway. So it stops doing the production of the job that it's meant to do. Do you want that? Because that means now you're going to always need that thing to keep the production of that organ or that gland working for you. Otherwise, when you stop taking it, it's your factory's already shut down, the natural one that you have. So we're going to talk about how we can get that revved back up if you have been taking it, how we can make something, how you can use natural. There are natural herbs out there that can do the same thing, but it's just not being talked about because this is such a huge industry right now. This is such a big money maker right here. So of course, only the holistic doctors, which up until just recently have been silenced on sharing knowledge for a lot of different things, but this is one of them. So I'm very excited to be able to share this with you guys now. So let's see, it's agonist and mimics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me scroll up so I can see it. Okay, So the trizepatide is sold under the brand name Mounjaro, which is also approved only to treat type 2 diabetes. However, trizepatide may be prescribed for weight loss, under the brand name Zepbound. So they're kind of creating in their own version saying this isn't cleared to use. However, we're going to call it this and then we'll clear that. Like, I don't know. Sounds a little shisty to me. So let's keep going. All right. Semaglutide or trizepatide. Some recent studies have compared semaglutide and trizepatide for weight loss. Research studies from 2024, 2023, and 2021 suggest that trizepatide may result in greater weight loss than semaglutide, but there are some important caveats to these studies. Okay, the doses of semaglutide and trizepatide given to participants were not equal. Semaglutide and trizepatide work slightly different, so the researchers chose comparable dose levels. However, the dose of trizepatide, which is what I heard too, is higher, which may affect the results. Trizepatide is currently FDA approved for the use in people who are overweight or have obesity, whether or not they have type 2 diabetes. So to be in that realm, overweight and obesity, I think you have to have a BMI of greater than 30%. If I'm not mistaken, the BMI has to be up pretty high. So for you to be able to get it. And I think either one of those, because I was doing a little research last night, like how much money does it cost to do this one and how much does it cost to do that one? So it was about hey Bo. No, it hasn't. Nope. Only snow coming through. So it is about so it's about $200 a month, if I'm not mistaken, to get the monthly rounds of the one of those. You can either do one or the other. You can't do them both. So, and I mean, if you do, I mean, I don't know what that would do for you anyway to do both of them. Why you would need that? It seems like overkill, and you don't want to double down on the harm that it's doing inside your body. However, studies suggest that semaglutide may be an effective weight loss treatment for people without diabetes. So they got the studies already on the semaglutide, which is the Ozempic and the Wegovy, but they don't have so many studies, but it's now FDA approved for the Mounjaro. So that's kind of where we're at on that one. Let's see what these side effects are. Okay. So the side effects of the trizepatide and semaglutide are similar. Moderate side effects of trizepatide and semaglutide are constipation or diarrhea. I've heard a lot of diarrhea talk with both of them. Upset stomach, nausea, and vomiting. I've definitely heard, right? First, especially when you first start taking it, then, I mean, clients that I've had that have been on this or started taking it said, this is what of course, I can tell you all day long, I feel like we should try, you know how I am about my intermittent fasting and fasting to get you to where you need to be, but not everybody can feel mentally prepared to do those things. So I can't control what my clients do outside of their hour session with me. But those that have decided to take it, they have seen great results. However, these were some of the things that they did say they experienced: the diarrhea, the nausea, the vomiting, headaches, abdominal cramping, kind of like for ladies, like around your period, how your abdomen starts to cramp up, fatigue, like extreme exhaustion. I've also heard that one. And hypoglycemia, like being a little anemic. So those are some of the side effects that you have to, look out for. The more severe side effects would be vision changes, and that is what I'm talking about when it comes to sorry, something on my roof. That is what I'm talking about when it comes to long term, right? So these are all pretty new in the last few years that they've come on the market, but people started diving in on these things because of the celebrities giving it their endorsements and people just dropping rapid weight. I mean, like, what's happening? Everybody wants in on that, but they're not thinking of the long term. It's almost like how I used to feel when I was in high school, and I grew up on the beach, and I'm always at the beach in the sun, and my parents are like, put that sunscreen on, and I'm like, why? I want to get a golden tan. And you're not thinking about the future. You're just thinking about that right now, that what's making you happy in that moment, and you're not thinking about the future. And now here I am, have to get this thing biopsied and this thing cut off and that thing cut, like, because skin cancer is a thing. So to my past self, I wish that I would have gone back and done that. But now I've got children and I'm drilling, and they see me going through this stuff on the other side with my doctors. Like, you don't want to do this. So I'm hoping that they're smart enough, which I do believe they are, to learn their lesson from me. But this is the thing that's happening, and people are more and more cases are being reported of a very rare thyroid cancer that's happening, because remember what I told you, the thyroid function is a huge part in all of this working. So if you are killing the function of your thyroid, right, and then you stop taking this, you're like, oh, I'm only going to take it for like 6 months or 3 months until I lose that weight, and then but what happens in that time frame is that you're shutting down the operation of those glands and organs that you need to work and function for you after you get off of it. You don't want to be on this stuff for life. But what's happening is you're telling your body, hey, I already got this in. Your body is so smart, you guys. You have to learn that your body is so intelligent. It's so intelligent. It will correct itself in real time. And you're telling that, okay, wait, your thyroid saying, oh, we already got all this taken care of. Well, I don't need to produce more. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the factory. This is not the realm you want to go in. This is vision changes. People are losing their vision. You don't have to trust my word. Go do the research yourself. People that are losing their vision, getting pancreatitis, where their pancreas is literally enlarging. They're getting kidney failure, gallbladder issues. I've already known 2 people that have had to have their gallbladder removed, and one of them is set up for thyroid surgery. It's very sad. Allergic reactions, of course. Look, you know me. I'm going to be giving you all the ways to live your life the best way from the inside out, holistically, and getting your body to do its best performance for you. We have done a lot of damage. We do a lot of damage by putting all the junk in there, but that's okay. It is reversible. It really is. All naturally, because our body is that smart. God knew what he was doing. He didn't make us to not be able to handle and revamp our bodies. Okay. So, both of these medications have boxed warnings with the risk of thyroid C cell tumors on your thyroid. A box warning is the most serious warning from the FDA. If it's on the box, that means it is a big deal. If they're putting it on the box, that's what that's saying. That is the warning that they're referring to. So the trizepatide warning. Now the trizepatide, remember, is the Mounjaro. Okay, the one that they give in a bigger dose, but it's supposed to be the most effective. There are still questions about the side effects of trizepatide in people without type 2 diabetes. Weight loss is a relatively new use for the medications, and they may have limitations and side effects that research has not yet identified. The doctor and healthcare team can give you the best guidance on these medications and any symptoms you may be experiencing when using Mounjaro in particular. So, the one I'm going to be talking about, that there are doctors that have been, whoopsies, hold on. There are doctors that have been trying to talk about this from the jump, but they were getting silenced over it. I'm guessing because they weren't going to be, the health industry wasn't going to be able to make their money on people buying into this if you knew that there was a holistic way to do it, right? So they have had a surplus of videos and information that they've been putting out there saying, hey, there's actually some natural herbs that already do these things. When we take them, they do it and they enhance it, and they're all natural and recognized by the body and not harmful in any way. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but let's continue on just in case you are or know someone that is taking this, you have a little bit more information to go off of. The following table compares the diagnosis of the dosages of Wegovy and Zepbound. So Zepbound is the I guess like the street version of, I don't know if street version is the right word, is the off-brand, off-label. They call it off-label, not street version. Okay, let's just back that up. Back it up. Off-label brand of Mounjaro, and that's Zepbound. I've never heard of that before I started doing this research, but you might know someone that's on that. So the following table compares the dosages of Wegovy and Zepbound, which are the brand name medications approved for weight loss. So remember what I told you earlier. Zepbound is what they changed the Mounjaro to, because they wouldn't approve Mounjaro, so they turned it into Zepbound. Don't know what the loophole is or what have you, but because the two drugs work differently, the dosing amounts are different. However, your dosage may vary based on your doctor's recommendation on whether they choose to prescribe one of the brand name drugs off-label. I wouldn't want an off-label anything unless I knew it was tried, true, and tested. Like, big deal. Okay. So especially something that's messing with your thyroid function like this, because remember, this is for people with type 2 diabetes. So if you do not have type 2 diabetes and you're taking the insulin for it, it doesn't make much sense with how your body is going to react. However, everybody to each their own. My only position here behind the layers is to uncover the facts, the myths, and the good, bad, and the ugly, so you can have all the information you need, right? Information is power. And for you to have the information you need to be able to decide if it's something that's right for you. No judgment here. It's your life, not mine. Just giving you information. So Zepbound is 2.5 milligrams per week, and Wegovy is 0.25. That's a huge difference. So you're getting 2.5 milligrams per week opposed to Wegovy. So Wegovy is the semaglutide, which they say takes a little bit longer, but it could also be because you're only getting 0.25. And with the Zepbound, you're getting 2.5 milligrams per week, and that's the trizepatide. So, and also with both of these, no matter what you're getting, it brings on the nausea and the vomiting and the extreme severe headaches and sometimes abdominal cramping. I've never heard from people that are taking these that they've had constipation. It's mainly diarrhea, throwing up, and feeling like the headaches, like extreme headaches, like migraine style. So the Zepbound, which is the trizepatide, that can be increased by 2.5 milligrams once per week, every 4 weeks, up to 15 milligrams. That's a lot. Up to 15 milligrams once per week. Rather than 2.5, you can go up to 15 milligrams. You can dose yourself, because there's a little dial on the side of the little pin that does that allows you to adjust it yourself. It's crazy. However, it's your life. So weeks 9 through 12, you can go up 1 milligram once per week with the Wegovy, which is the semaglutide. So you see the difference? So the Zepbound, they're like, oh, you can up that ante 15 milligrams on your own. No one's gauging it. They send you all the product to your house, and then you do whatever you want to do with it. So the 15 milligrams once per week is what you can go up 15 milligrams. And the Wegovy, you can only go up the very, very max 2.4 milligrams per week. So that's a huge difference. Let's go here. Let's see. I'll get that off there. Frequently asked questions. So, oof. Out-of-pocket cost depends on whether your insurance covers the medication. It will if you are, remember how I said 30, I think you have to be over 30 BMI, 30 or 35. They might have changed it now, BMI, of your fat index. 30% of your body needs to be fat. So the pharmacy price of 3 packages of Zepbound, which is the trizepatide, is around $3,000, while Wegovy is about $4,000. Sheesh. Let's see. 72 weeks of treatment with trizepatide cost about $17,527 for 72 weeks, while 68 weeks of treatment with semaglutide cost about $22,878, almost $23,000. That's a lot. It's a lot of money. But the study suggests that trizepatides may be more cost effective in the long run because of its greater effectiveness for weight loss. So this is for a whole year. So if you're getting to your goal, your weight goal sooner, it's saying you might not need all of that time frame, and you could maybe do this in maybe $6,000 rather than almost $17,500. Still, it's a lot. That's getting for people that don't have a car, a nice ride, or you don't have a home and you could get what do you call it? A camper to live in. I mean, like that's a lot. Hold on, my computer needs to be plugged in. But I feel that it is, if you're not good about doing it yourself, it's going to be something obviously that is going to be beneficial. However, you definitely need to take the cost into effect and then the side effects of what it does for you, to you, and how are you going to navigate after you get off of it, right? I mean, you're not going to be on it forever. I mean, I guess you could if you just have that will and you don't really care too much about the side effects, and you may not have any side effects. You may just be one of those very fortunate people that don't. So, what are the disadvantages? I'm sorry, can I switch from semaglutide to trizepatide? It's generally considered safe to switch from semaglutide to trizepatide. That's because people are asking because you remember Ozempic and Wegovy were the first on the market, and those were the ones that people knew about. But then, people like the Kardashians and celebrities were coming out just like looking waif thin. What was the other one? Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian's always been a bigger girl, beautiful, curvy girl. Then comes out and like ridiculously skinny all over again. So, I mean, like her sisters have been doing. So, it puts it on the market. And what are they talking about? Mounjaro. And what is Mounjaro? It's the trizepatide. So now all the people that have been on the semaglutide, they want to go over to the trizepatide because it works quicker, so they say. But that's because the dosage is so much higher. But what comes with the cost of not just financial cost of having a higher dose? What comes with it? What's the price going to cost your body, your health? Hi, Caleb. Hey, you've been on Mounjaro for 2 years, lost 149. You're a diabetic. Okay, see what your body is already in that space as a diabetic. Thank you for sharing. And your body is already in that space. My concern that I've been talking about here is for people that don't have have the diabetes. But I have heard the Mounjaro has been working better and quicker than the semaglutide, like the Wegovy and the Ozempic, because of the side effects. You were in the hospital 2 times because of the side effects. And what were the side effects, if you don't mind sharing, Caleb? I really do appreciate you sharing because this is important. I too have had clients that didn't take my advice and they went and did their own thing, which I understand. I'm not anybody to judge. And I hate it because now they're having gallbladder and thyroid issues. One of them had a mass on her thyroid, and she might have to get that thyroid removed now and her gallbladder at the same time. So it's very devastating to know that, putting the information out there, giving people a go, and it's you just never know what can be the adverse and what comes out of it. Let me see what's going. Aw, thank you so much. Thanks, Hal. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Caleb, what did you say? Dehydration and nausea. Yeah. What were because it says you start at 2.5. Were you upping the ante? Because it said you can also take that up to 15, which I know there's been a couple people that are like, you know what, I'm just trying to get this done. And they just up that ante really quickly and then have been immediately like, I wish I didn't do that because she was throwing up constantly. But to go up on your own 15 milligrams in the week sounds very dangerous. The doctor gave me too high of a medication. I noticed my vision is getting worse on this drug. Yeah, that's another bad side effect. More people are coming out. I don't know if you've seen that in news articles or people like posting up on Instagram and YouTube Shorts and TikTok. I mean, it doesn't take much to research how many people are coming out with what the side effects are. And I think it's so important that people like you, Caleb, thank you for sharing your story. I think it's important for people to speak out for others that are maybe thinking about doing it and wondering, do they want to go this route? And that's my whole point of today's podcast, is to talk about what are the side effects, what are the literally what behind the layers is unveiling the layers of the good, the bad, and the ugly. You were at 10 to start out. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh my gosh, that seems very aggressive, right? I know that the one of the clients I had, she started out, it was the baseline 2.5, and then it was taking a slower realm. So by like week 3, she was pumped it up to the 10, and that's when she was feeling. So for that week, she took the 10 milligrams and she was like, I was just sick all the time, throwing up all the time, which when you get sick like that, you become dehydrated. And unless you're taking like the liquid IV that you can put those powdery drinks or mix in your drink, in your water to get a surge of hydration. Really, it's just sodium. So you can even crack. And when you're feeling super dehydrated like that, or you've been throwing up like this, or diarrhea or anything in that measure, drinking water with cracked sea salt in it is the way to go. Just crack some sea salt in there. If you don't have the liquid IV or these hydration powders, I don't suggest Gatorade. Gatorade and Powerade are the absolute worst for you. You're better off drinking soda. The ingredients are bad. They tear up your kidney. My daughter, who had kidney cancer when she was a 4-year-old, she was told she can never again drink Gatorade and some of these hydration drinks because they are so hard on your kidney, which is really mind-blowing because they literally cater these drinks to kids and playing soccer and football and out in the fields. And these are really bad for your organs. This drug is a blessing and a curse. If I wasn't diabetic, I would not take this drug. Yeah, it's interesting to know that that's probably why they put you on the Mounjaro, is because the other ones are too close to your diabetic medication. So going into the tirzepatide form is what would cause a bit more of a weight loss because of the different ingredients that are in that are not in the like Ozempic and Wegovy, the semaglutides. And that's a little bit closer to what a diabetic medication would be, the semaglutide. So I can see why they put you on the tirzepatide, but starting you off at a 10 is wow. I mean, do you still go to that doctor? I would feel like I might need to reassess, because that's a lot, especially if you were being hospitalized twice. But it makes sense. If you're getting nauseous, like I said, like the throwing up and the diarrhea makes you really dehydrated, and it makes your organs and your bowels dehydrated, and it kills your gut biodome. So anything you got coming in, it really works a number on your intestines. So the best way to recover from that is by drinking hydration drinks. The one that I'm telling you, the liquid IV, the little powdery mix that goes in your water, is so good. Like it has so many essential vitamins. It helps to protect your bio, and it is really good for you. That one's a great one for hydration, especially if you know you've been throwing up or you've been sick. I give my kids that. I take that after like having the flu, getting sick, or any kind of, anytime you're getting sick like that, just from having food poisoning or just getting sick in general, like from your drug that you're taking. Getting sick and not rehydrating will absolutely end you up in the hospital, or you'll pass out. Some people go into convulsions, especially if you are diabetic. So I'm glad that you did get there and you got some help. And I know that when you were in the hospital, they probably gave you a slow drip, right, to help hydrate you. And really what's in there is saline. It's salt water. So your body can hydrate quickly rather than how long it takes through water alone. Let's see what it was. I know this drug was for diabetics. What will the drug do long term to a non-diabetic? Right, and that's what this podcast is really talking about today is just the do's and the don'ts and the whys and the why nots, because of the way that it affects. I don't know if you caught earlier, you still see your doctor. I take the drug when it was first on the market. Oh, okay. Well, so what I had mentioned earlier was when your body is so smart, right? So when your body is meant to do a function, right? There's organs in your glands, thyroid, the gallbladder, everything's got a job. And let's just say now you're sending a bunch of new employees in, aka the semaglutide and the tirzepatide. You're sending a bunch of the new employees in, and they start taking over the job in full force. So this other factory, your natural body's factory, is like, okay, well, there's no need for the both of us. I'm going to shut down. So that stops working the same as it did before. So of course, this is their big comeback, the medical industry and all of the money that, they started to kind of dwindle away in their eyes from people not taking the shots and getting worried about the shots and all this new information coming about. When I'm talking about the shot, I'm talking about the vaccinations. So this was something that was like the come up right from there. Then it was like, oh, this is the new thing. First they get it going with the celebrities, and they get them endorsing it, and then people start seeing it in real time on TV quickly. People quickly losing the weight. I get it. I understand why the desire to want to dive into it, but it's just kind of like what happened with the vaccinations is they didn't have enough information about it, and then they were coming out with information about it sterilizing children on they didn't know, but the vaccination, that was a side effect. So children that were taking it, or myocarditis with the enlarged heart, athletes were just like passing out or having a heart attack on the field in their 20s. So, and those were people that had taken the vaccination. So studies are going to happen over time, and we're going to learn more things over time. But unfortunately, we have to, people that dive in are going to have to be the ones that we learn from. So I'm so sorry that happened to you, Caleb. You're 5'10", 140 pounds, and keep losing weight. Are you still taking the shot, and how many milligrams do you take each week? Is it a weekly thing, or have you gone down to like a bi-weekly or maybe a once a month? Is that a possibility? Thank you. I really do appreciate you sharing your knowledge on that. You get some IV fluids from Costco, some IV fluid from Costco. Yeah, that's the liquid IV is, I mean, it's expensive, but if you get them on sale, there's always sales. I always look at the manufacturer sales when they can clip the coupon and let it ride. Let's see. It's generally considered safe to switch from semaglutide to tirzepatide. In fact, research suggests that switching from semaglutide to tirzepatide may even be beneficial for weight loss. I'm gathering that that's because with the semaglutide, like I said, you can only up the ante on that each week by 2.4 milligrams. And for the Mounjaro, you can up the ante by 15 milligrams per week. So I can understand why doctors may want to switch over for their patients, because the other one is a slow roll, and then the Mounjaro is just like, how we get fast, quick, want it now, but there are side effects to look out for. So the supervision of a doctor should consult your doctor before switching. What are the disadvantages of trizepatide? Like other GLP-1 drugs, trizepatide can cause side effects. How fast do you lose weight on trizepatide? While this can vary from person to person, 2022 study suggested that you could start seeing weight loss within weeks. And yeah, of course, because really what it's doing is making you not hungry. So the main thing that I am constantly talking about on here when it and revolves around getting your weight in check and doing it naturally is the intermittent fasting and then full fasts. So intermittent fasting, which is just shrinking your window so you're not eating all day long. You're giving your body a little more time to digest the food and process that food before you put more food in. So if you're getting up at like, I don't know, you have your first bite of food at 8, right? And then you have, let's just say 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 at the very most until your last meal. That's intermittent fasting. That's just saying, I'm not going to eat all 16 hours of the day that I'm awake. I'm going to, give my body a little extra time, because now it can fast while you're sleeping and it can fast for the rest of the evening before you go to bed. So that's what the intermittent fasting does. And it shrinks your stomach and it shrinks your appetite and it really starts to burn. And now you're giving it a chance to burn that stored fat storage off. So you're doing once a week at 7.5. That sounds about right for the time frame that you've been on. Should I lift weights? Some people say I lost a lot of muscle. Definitely. Strength training is going to be your best friend at this point. So, like, I don't know if you are a member of a gym, but I'm a big advocate of home workouts too, like the resistant band training, or just even getting like a dumbbell set and doing some presses and some, I have a lot of videos and there's a ton of videos out there, but I'm very big advocate on stretching to avoid injury and also making it a slow progress to where you're not pushing too much, and also form is everything. So you're working on the muscles and you're not working on injury every single time that you're lifting the weights. So I know the longest time this drug was like gold. You couldn't get any for a few weeks because it was sold out at the store. Right. And I know that they went through a big downfall for it because the people that actually had diabetes were also in need of their drug too. So I know a lot of people that have diabetes were switching over because now they were getting their needs met and their weight loss in. So it was a big to do. You're right. It was, and then all of a sudden it just came out, right? Caleb, it was like, okay, it's scarce. You can't find it anywhere. Everybody's needing, like the people that have diabetes and the people that don't have diabetes, and everybody's trying to get it. And then all of a sudden it wasn't just at your doctor. You could see it on Facebook. You could see it on Instagram. You see it on TikTok. You can get it through all these different apps and sources and places. And it just like made a surge of this product. And they were going to make sure they were going to get rid of it because they had just spent billions of dollars putting into creating this drug, and they really needed to get their money back. So let's see. How fast do you lose weight? Okay, we already read that part. Let me go along. Before we get into, don't forget, we're going to be talking about the holistic doctors who are talking about some natural holistic herbs that can also do the same thing as the Mounjaro, which is the trizepatide. So trizepatide and semaglutide are type 2 diabetes drugs that doctors often prescribe for weight loss. Trizepatide may be more effective because of how it works, but current research is inconclusive. It's too early to know for sure whether one drug is more effective than the other, especially in people without diabetes. Several studies suggest that tirzepatide is more effective in helping people with type 2 diabetes lose weight, but the research isn't definitive. Your doctor can offer the best guidance in different weight loss options and which medications may be best for you. So, that is all I'm going to say about that. We are going to talk about a little more in depth of the semaglutide versus Ozempic versus Wegovy versus Mounjaro. They're all out there. But I think the gist of what we're getting is that the semaglutide is the thing that's a little bit slower. Now we know it's because you're only starting out with 0.25 milligrams, and with the tirzepatide you're getting 2.5 to start milligrams, and you can up the ante to 15 milligrams with the tirzepatide like Mounjaro per week, but the most you can cap out on the semaglutide per week is 2.4 additional milligrams per week. So you're definitely gonna, obviously, when you're taking way more of something, you're gonna see quicker results. It's just, logic. But the side effects when you're taking that much extra per week can also be a very serious in terms of how much quicker you are going to experience and how much worse off you'll be with those side effects. So let me go over to, where's this one? What is that? Semaglutide. What's the difference between blah, blah, blah? No, I think we kind of covered that. While Ozempic and Wegovy will be fairly similar since they are both semaglutide, Mounjaro is the newest one on the market. I'll just share this with you just in case you see something else that you we might not have covered, which I think that we kind of did before we move on to those all natural ingredients. So we covered that they're both the Wegovy and the Ozempic, and then the tirzepatide is the Mounjaro. So we covered all of that stuff, FDA approved, blah, 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 type 2 diabetes. Okay, well, this is a little bit different. It's giving a little more in depth. So let me come over here so I can read that to you. I'm going to shrink my face a little bit here. That way I can see all the words. Okay, there we go. So help with the conditions very quickly. Have fantastic weight loss benefits. Let me get to where I was. Ozempic and Mounjaro are still both technically only FDA approved for the treatment of type 2 diabetes. So both of them, the semaglutide and the tirzepatide, are both only meant for the type 2 diabetes. However, they have come out with some FDA approved version of those two, which is called something different. Many physicians will safely prescribe them off-label for weight management. Wegovy is the only option of these three that has specifically been approved for the weight loss medication, only really differing from Ozempic by its recommended dosage. Okay, interesting. So Wegovy, they must have different dosing than the Ozempic. Ozempic has also been approved for use to decrease the risk of suffering from major cardiovascular events such as heart attacks and strokes. Now that's interesting. I've never heard that before. So it says Ozempic has been approved for the use to decrease the risk of suffering from major cardiovascular events such as heart attack and strokes in patients with type 2 diabetes or some heart conditions. Interesting. Even though Ozempic and Mounjaro are not officially approved for weight loss, there is a ton of research and information confirming their efficiency and safety for use of weight loss medications. So, as you know, that they are obviously, Caleb, you've been on it, but people that I know that have been clients or patients of mine that have gotten on that, I'm all about the holistic approach. I'm just telling you guys right now that this is not something I suggest ever, but If this is what you want to go down, and it's very beneficial for you to get that weight off, because also being super morbidly obese is very bad for your health in so many ways too. So if this is the way to get you off, I'm going to talk about how you can get back on track off of this drug. That's what we're going to talk about today. So this is just the first part of this podcast, has been talking to you about what are these things, what are the side effects, how can it affect your body, what are some of the severe side effects. For the FDA to put on a box label is a really big deal, and you should heed the warning. But there are some natural ways once you do get off of it to kind of rehydrate and get your thyroid and your gallbladder and your gut microdome working for you again in a way that you really are going to need it once you get off of this drug, and will keep you in the safe zone of continuing to lose that weight, or even maintaining that weight, and being in a special place where you can feel that you are feeling healthy. There are no more of those side effects. You don't have to worry any longer about what those long-term side effects are going to be, because now you're doing something more natural and just maintaining that weight, which is kind of where you want to be. Once you get to the weight you want to be at, you want to know and be able to maintain it without freaking out that, oh my gosh, I'm off of it. Am I going to spiral? What's going to happen? Yada, yada. So let me just read some comments here. Caleb says, my insurance will not cover this drug anymore unless you are a diabetic. Interesting. Do you know anything if insurance is more picky on this drug? The only thing that I know about the drug for the Mounjaro is the only one that I know that they're not covering anymore, because of the high likely that people are just going to pay for it, and they're now classifying it as cosmetic instead of being a treatment. So that's the only thing. No, I do not. I don't sell either of those. I'm all about a holistic, just going over that. I'm all about the holistic way, and I have gotten 2 different doctors now that I follow that have put out 4 different ingredients that are similar to the ones that are in Mounjaro, but they're all natural, and that's what we're going to talk about. Because for those of people that have been on this drug that are looking to get off, but maybe they don't know how to, or what the side effects or how they're going to keep up with it, that's where I come in. That's where I'm trying to help. My doctor said I would always be on this drug. Well, I'm not trying to go against your doctor, but you have the option to not, and that is your choice. But I'm going to talk to you about, that's what this podcast is to give you information, and then you can choose what you want to do with your own life. But this is all about living your best life from the inside out, and how to do that naturally and holistically and actually being effective. So, and there are many case studies for hundreds of years with the ingredients that I'm about to talk about for causing these exact these exact things in your body that these drugs are doing in your body in the positive realm, like keeping your appetite in check and keeping the insulin levels down and all of that stuff. So we're going to dive into that. So don't be afraid that you can't get off of it and there's not other options, because there is. Okay, so which one would you do? Ozempic-Wagovy and Mounjaro are all administered on a weekly basis through subcutaneous injection. Yes, we already know this. 2.5 milligrams compared to 0.5 milligrams for the other two. So they did up it. It was 0.25. So they went up to 0.5 for the Wegovy and Ozempic. They also work very similar to in the body to make patients feel as if they're fuller, longer, making it much easier to maintain calories. Okay, so this particular drug really is to help you. How do I say it? It's making you feel full, so you don't eat. It's really the same basics of intermittent fasting. So, what I'm going to talk to you about and show you is the intermittent fasting in the fasting benefits. No drugs. Fasting and intermittent fasting in your body doing the same thing for you that you are already doing right now, but without all those harmful side effects. So that's ultimately where you want to be. You want to get your body working back for you. And since you've already been doing this and you're shrinking your appetite, your stomach's going to be shrunken, you're not going to be like you're not going to be able to eat as much because you're going to get full faster anyway because you've already done all that work, right? If you guys have already been on this, just like Caleb, you've already been on these things, just like some of my clients, you've already been on these. This is how to wean yourself and getting your body back to not continuing to put this stuff in your body and still getting the results that you want. Now, if you're taking the drug just for diabetes, that is a different story. You don't need to be taking such a high dose for your diabetic intake. With my knowledge with diabetics is that if you are losing the weight like that, then it's probably too much of a dose. But if you want to continue to where you are, you just have to I always say, do a check-in, do a reevaluation with your doctor and saying, I'm trying this. I'm trying intermittent fasting and I'm trying more of a fasted state rather than continuing to go along with this. So how can we adjust? How can we adjust our levels here? And then just see what they have to say. They should be able, I've worked with many patients, many clients that have been on so many drugs, very high doses with diabetic and non-diabetic, and we've gotten those adjusted. But you do have to put some time in, like getting them to get out and walk a little bit more, you have to get your body motivated and moving to be able to get that oxygen and that circulation and that blood moving through your body to get all of those impurities and those toxins out. You have to be able to get it out by moving and also strengthening those muscles up, because your muscle is going to keep you thin. Not thin like it's going to make you lose all your weight, but it is going to keep you tighter and toner, because your muscle burns more fat. Fat does not burn fat, but muscle does burn fat. So the more you're working out that muscle, you're burning fat around that muscle, and you're tightening and you're toning, and you're also strengthening your bones, your spine. You're getting more upright rather than starting to be more slouched over. It's so beneficial with the strength training. You are going to find way more benefits in that than not. So strength training is a huge plus. I definitely would do that. I would love to yes, I'm going to stick with me, Caleb. I'm going there. I'm getting there. Let's see. The medication has deemed the best fit will vary from patient to patient, blah, blah, most effective, sustainable. Okay. So I think we pretty much covered. Okay. So this is where we're going with you. Long term. Does it keep the weight off long term? Let's just see what this has to say, and then we're going to move on. When used for weight loss management, semaglutide, Mounjaro, Wegovy, and Ozempic are considered to be long-term treatments, often taking at least 1 year before the final goal weight has been achieved. One of the downsides to taking medication to help with weight loss is that unless patients are able to properly maintain a very healthy diet and exercise regimen, it is common for them to gain back a little bit of weight after stopping the medication. For this reason, many patients will continue to take the medication for a bit longer, even after they have reached their goal weight. So this is still already, I feel like this is misguiding you, saying only a bit longer. But I know many, not just you, Caleb, but I know many people that they have told me that their doctors have told them that they need to be on it for life. And that is absolutely absurd. But if you are, okay, for instance, with your insulin, when your insulin levels get out of control and you have insulin resistance because you have put too much, like you've been eating too much processed foods or boxed foods or things that have, all of these pesticides and all these chemicals and all of that stuff, you got all that damage going on in your body. But once you start to eat better, meaning eating more whole foods like fruit and vegetables and fish and chicken or eggs and legumes like beans and lentils and stuff like that, If you start eating like that and you're cutting out the snacking, like Debbie treats or peanut butter crackers or Cheez-Its or whatever the case, whatever people snack on, right? Unless you're snacking on fresh fruit and vegetables, then that's different. One of mine when I crave salty treats is pork rinds, but then I have to be careful because there's high in sodium and the pork can also, because of the sodium, get your cholesterol and your blood sugar or your blood pressure up. So you have to really pick and choose. In that case, it's just better to just go on a walk or do something else that doesn't involve eating, because a lot of times people eat because they're bored. It's not because you're hungry. It's just because you get that instant gratification when you put yummy food in your mouth, and that will last for all of 15 minutes when you get that dopamine release. But then what happens after that 15 minutes? Then you're like, oh, why did I eat that? You don't feel great. You're just like, oh, maybe it even surges your insulin all the way up, and you're feeling tired and like drained, and then you feel foggy. A lot of people walk around like that day by day. They're foggy, their brain's not working the right way, they're tired, they have no energy, and they're just exhausted with life. It's exhausting. The last thing they can think of is working out, going to the gym, or doing a workout at home, or any of that fact or any of those factors. And really, it's all caused by the food we put in. When any of the patients or clients come to me and they're like, I need to get well, I'm tired of feeling this way, I'm a new parent or I'm a grandparent and I'm just done. I've trained people up to late 80s and gotten them in the best shape of their life. And it all starts with 80% of what goes in your mouth. The rest of it is easy breezy. Like, okay, all I want you to do is, a lot of them, I make them get a wearable. You can get one for $15 that tracks your steps. All I want to do is start out with 5,000 steps. Sounds like a big number, but once you see how much you actually move around in a day, then you're like, oh, I could do that. Then the next week we up it. Let's do 6,000 steps until we're getting into a safe zone. And then we're going to incorporate some band exercises or some resistant training, which you can do it on the wall, you can do it on your couch, you can do it on a chair. So many options depending on what level you're at with your physicality. Then we talk about, let's shrink that window. Do you need to eat right when you get up, or can you have a cup of coffee or a tea or a little, my main go-to is the apple cider vinegar cocktail, which is water, lemon, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and drink that. It sets your gut up for the day. It really hydrates you, gets your organs working properly. It is so good for you, and it curbs your appetite. That is a huge benefit to the apple cider vinegar. And a lot of my patients that have gone on my program, they use that on a constant basis because it resets pH balance in your skin and your body and like I said, in your gut, and it keeps you from going for that snack or going for that sweet. And it is also something that can help bring those insulin levels back down. So let's just say you're broke. We're human. We make mistakes. You ate a piece of chocolate cake or a donut or something like that. You better be close to or have a canister or a thermos with some mixed up apple cider vinegar cocktail, because as soon as you do that and you drink that apple cider vinegar, you can't drink it straight. It will burn your esophagus. You have to have it mixed. You drink that apple cider vinegar down, and now it's pulling that insulin back down, way back down. It's rebalancing your pH, so your insulin's not skyrocketing and then, causing havoc in there. So that apple cider vinegar is a huge bonus for that, and also curbing that appetite. So if you can curb that appetite and get started with your first meal a little bit later, only having something small, like I suggest, like eggs and sausage or bacon, if you're able to have that. I like to do, or even just eggs and a side fruit, maybe like an apple or half of a grapefruit or some fresh berries, and Greek yogurt, like half a cup of Greek yogurt, and then go on about your day. Maybe you have like a small lunch and then your dinner, trying to cut out the snacking, trying to get you on a more consciously aware version of what your meals look like. You don't have to lose all the flavor of your meals. There's so many creative meals out there. All you gotta do is type in keto or healthy style meals and you still get all the flavor. There's so many people that post stuff up. I'm constantly posting stuff up. Like today, I did a cabbage taco. So it's just like cutting thick slices of cabbage. You can use green cabbage or red cabbage. It's really good fiber, really good source of vitamins. And searing those with olive oil. So now you have your olive oil, which is really good fatty acids for you. And then I'm putting like sea salt and pepper and some garlic. And I put turmeric because turmeric is great for inflammation. Got your turmeric in there. Garlic is also good for that. And I put some cumin on there to give it that, taco seasoning style, a little chili kind of taste. And then I drop the shredded cheese with the sour cream and the salsa on top. And now you have yourself a little taco. And I put cantonelli beans that are high in fiber, high in protein, and they have so many great essentials in there, like iron that your body needs. And put those on top. It's delicious and it's healthy, and there's no carbs and there's no sugar and there's no serious spikes because there's barely any salt. And it's very tasty. So there are so many ways that you can start to manipulate the foods that you eat to where your body is going to keep working for you. You feel satisfied, you feel full, you aren't spiking your insulin, you're not putting yourself into dire straits, and you're getting the benefits that you need and keep on going. You just and it keeps you going and it keeps you out of the zone. You're saving money because you're not eating all the time. You're not snacking all the time. So you're saving money, you're saving heartache. And guess what happens when you start doing that intermittent fasting? Now you're like, oh my gosh, my brain sharper. Whoa, why do I have all this energy? I got so much energy. Why am I like on top of things? Your body starts to respond in a way that is saying, thank you. Thank you for giving me this good, nutritious food. Thank you for not constantly feeding me so I have time to divvy up and deliver like the Amazon packages. It has time to deliver all the packages before you throw more packages at it. And then once it's done with its work of delivering all that food and those nutrients and breaking it all down in your stomach and where it needs to go, once it's done with its work, then they're like, wait a second. I'm done. Oh, guess what? Now I can go work on your body ailments. Now I can go fix that shoulder pain that you've had. Now I can go fix that inflammation or the swelling in your fingers or your feet or the gout you might have or the aggravation and the inflammation around your knees or your joints or your hips. Now I get to go do what you actually need because I'm done with the food. The food comes first. As soon as you shoot it down, your body has to, every worker in your body has to stop what they're doing and go deliver that food, break it down, process it, and deliver it where it needs to go. That's what happens inside of your body. Every time you put that food in there, that's what it's doing. So instead of having to do that all the time, give it a break. Because when you give it that break, that's when you're like, oh my gosh, that carpal tunnel I was having, that the feeling in my fingers and the swelling and the aching, it's gone away. That's so wild. I haven't had that in a long time. Whoa, what about that pain in my neck? Oh my gosh, that pain is starting. What about the lower back that's always so tight and my hips are off? All of that stuff starts to subside because your body is now able to go heal that inflammation because you're giving it time to do it. That is the beauty of how your body works. As long as you give it the time, it's us that's causing the damage and the problems and the issues in there because we're constantly throwing too much food at it. It can't do what it really needs to do. And what it wants to do is go work on all those things that are plaguing you inside, but you're not giving it the time. So as soon as you do, the proof is in the pudding. I have never worked with anybody that has ever complained that their life, their livelihood, their body, their mental is worse off. Never. Over almost 20 years now. Never. So the proof is in the pudding. And all I ever start with is say, give me 5 days. Give me 5 days to work with you on your nutrition, what you're going to do for the day, what you're going to do for the week. Work it out for 5 days. And by the 5th day, I'd say, let me back it up. I'd say 98%. There have been very few that are like, okay, I'm done at the 5 days. But 98% of my clients have been like, all right, let me finish this week out because the results are incredible. The benefits are amazing. I'm starting to feel a certain way in my mind and my body. I'm feeling like, euphoric, like I'm ready to start a new business. I'm ready to take on this. I'm ready to do. You feel like that. And a lot of people haven't felt like that in a really long time, really long time. And what I'm offering is my service and nothing else. You don't have to buy a thing unless you're trying to get to the gym, have a gym membership. But I offer so many options that don't involve adding any extra financial recourse to what we're going to do. So it's all about just getting your body in check, getting people off those high blood pressure pills and this pill and that pill and all the things that they're taking from their doctors, and saying, let's wean off of those things and get your body working the way it needs to be. Because a lot of times they're going back in. I make sure they go in for a self-check with their doctor and saying, hey, I've been doing this. I've been walking 3 times a week now. I've been strength training 2 times a week now. And I'm intermittent fasting and I'm feeling great. And I'm feeling like I don't need this high dose, and let them bring you back down. Go in for the doctor and make them check themselves. Say, I'm doing all of these things. Now I want to get down off of this. Like, I'm trying to get off that. So let me see what you said. How much is my membership? Oh, my membership is on Facebook. I have a membership. It's just $9.99 a month. But if you want to work with me specifically, you go to my website, karachristiansen.com, and you can see all the services that I provide there. So that's Kara Christensen, is Christ, like Christ, ENSEN.com. Or you can head over to Facebook, and I have my monthly membership on there. But so that's up to you how in depth you want to go. Let's see, what else did you say? Sausage, bacon. I eat bacon a couple times per year, but never sausage. I do eat sausage. I don't eat it all the time. It's what I do with a sausage is, if I'm garnishing something, because I really do like the saltiness of it, I'll take a sausage link and I'm putting it with my 2 over easy eggs, and I'll cut that one sausage link up, like chop it up, and then kind of like sprinkle it over just to give it that extra burst of flavor. But that's it. It's just your body is going to be so quick to run through that. Now, if you're eating like 4, 6 sausage links every single day, then that's not going to be great for you. But even if you're doing a sausage link every other day, totally fine. It's not gonna upset the apple cart for sure. So, let's see. Thank you, Bo. I appreciate that. And Linda, thank you so much. I do appreciate the donation. Thank you so, so much. You guys, if you haven't already liked and subscribed on the channel, if you like this content, please do so for whatever platform you're watching it. I'm coming to you, giving you all the best information that I can, getting a deep dive in, because there's a lot of people out there putting a lot of stuff out there that is not tried and true. And I promise you, because I also do this for a living with actual clients and patients, that I would never steer you wrong. I would never put information out there that I wouldn't suggest to myself or do myself, or to my clients and patients. I just would not. That's just not how I roll. But let's see. Going on, when used for weight loss, let me see if we already achieved this topic. One of the downsides to take the medication to help with weight loss is that unless patients are able to properly maintain a very healthy diet and exercise regimen, common for them to gain back a little bit. That's where I got kind of like dug into an off topic there, but a little bit of weight after stopping the medication. For this reason, many patients will continue to take the medication for a bit longer, even after they have reached their goal weight. And I don't understand. I don't think, if you've reached your goal weight, I don't see any reason or benefit to continue to take this. And will definitely benefit from meeting with a nutritionist, which is what I am, and a personal trainer, which is what I also am, throughout their weight loss treatment, and for however long they need the support afterwards to help them sustain the results long term. So I do like that this website does suggest getting with a nutritionist and a personal trainer to stay on board 100%. I feel like that is 100% because now you want to get off, you need a little guidance. What do I do? Where do I turn? How do I get there? How do I stay on these in the same wavelength, in the same pattern that I've already been working so hard to get to, and all of this money spent and time to get there. So definitely benefit for me. Blah, 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 blah. Helps to keep weight off long term. Okay, let me go here. We're thrilled to welcome a new patient for any of our contact services, blah, blah. Okay, so we already covered all of that. I do like, because it's not always often that these sites that are talking about getting on the drug, how to get off of it, and also what bringing in the nutritionist and the personal trainer. So I'm telling you right now, it is 100% doable to do it, to get off of those drugs. It just is. So it's just willpower. But you've already done the hardest part, and that's shrinking your stomach, shrinking your appetite. So once you get off, I don't know how it might make your hunger come back. I don't know what the full, because I have still, well, only one person who is forced, and that's because she's sick all the time. And like I said, there are 2 people that are getting their gallbladder removed because of this. One of them has mentioned the site thing, and the other one had lumps on the thyroid. Of course, when you're in that, they're so stressed that stress is what is playing a big role in their weight gain, because when you stress out, you are releasing that cortisol, and the cortisol is, I don't know what happened there. So when you are stressed out, like in any realm, you're releasing that cortisol. That cortisol, that's why people say another big way to lose weight is to do yoga or practice meditation or taking like a mental break throughout the day and saying, I'm going to do some deep breathing, I'm going to do some belly work, or maybe do some stretching, especially if you're at a job and you're sitting all day in your chair and you want to go and take a walk. If you're able to, get outside and walk around the building, or even if you have stairs and you're capable, walk up the stairs and do a little stretch while you're up there and then coming back down the stairs. Or even maybe you can only walk up one flight of stairs, do your stretch there and then come back down. So many valid options to do to get the stress in check. So if you find yourself stressing out, let's say you're in your car and you can't be doing too many workouts. I do a funny little car routine if you're starting to get stressed out. So when you're getting stressed out, you can do the breathing, right? Where you're closing your eyes and you're like, I'm just going to breathe in. You take deep breaths in through that nose, out your mouth. You need to take at least 5 deep breaths. Okay. You're taking at least 5 deep breaths. And then in the process, if you want to, you clamp your hands in front and you're squeezing your hands together like this. Squeeze, 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 to where you're tensing up all these muscles. You're squeezing, like you're pushing toward each other. You're squeezing for the time that you're taking that deep breath in. And when you're doing that exhale, you're releasing all of that. So what that does is when you're squeezing and engaging those muscles like that, it's getting all of that blood rush there, and that you're moving the oxygen and the blood cycle through your body, and then you're releasing it. So it's almost like a little surge of a little serotonin rush, right? And it's so good for your body to do that. So a lot of people that I've worked with that have had, anxiety and problems with, depression and that sort of thing, these are some of the techniques that we would do for getting rid of anxiety in the moment, like an anxiety attack, or if you're having like a stress moment. Because the worst thing you can do, if you're able to get up and move, though, I say get up and move. You're starting to feel stressed or overwhelmed, just get up and take a walk around the house, the building, the office, whatever you're at. Take a walk. If you can, take a walk outside. There's nothing greater than the outside elements, the air, the sun. You just breathe it all in, take it all in, and that will help. Just breathe it in. Just being outside for even just like a minute, one whole minute, going out and then coming back in. Because if you can get that cortisol in check, you can get that stress in check, then you get that cortisol in check and your body won't release that cortisol. Because what happens next? If you allow yourself to stay in that stressed out zone, let's say whatever you're dealing with, frustrating, even if you're on a phone call and you just get out, someone's frustrating you, breathe. Okay, you got to breathe it in, because once that cortisol happens, that's when you're going to have that fat storage, because that's just what it does. That's what happens in your body. And once you store that fat into the stored tank, it is very difficult to get rid of that. So try your best to get out of that zone. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? These are the four ingredients that are found that do the same type of thing as Mounjaro, but they're all natural ingredients. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about, I'm going to share it, is CHITOSAN. Hold on. Let me share this with you guys. Where is it? Right there. Okay. Coming back over. There we go. This is how you say that word. CHITOSAN. Somebody said CHITOSAN, but it sounded like I was saying something else. So I'm going with CHITOSAN. So, overview. CHITOSAN is a sugar that comes from the outer skeleton of shellfish, including crab, lobster, and shrimp. It's used as medicine and in drug manufacturing. CHITOSAN is a fibrous substance that might reduce how much fat and cholesterol the body absorbs from foods. It also helps blood clot when applied to wounds. Interesting, right? So people use CHITOSAN for high blood pressure. So you would take this if you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, wound healing, like you have nodules or you get blood clots or you have high risk of those things, gout. You have high risk of those things, and this is something that you would take naturally, holistically. There's no good scientific evidence to support these uses. However, there is enough people that have taken it in studies to show that it does absolutely work with lowering high blood pressure and aiding in your weight loss journey. So, high blood pressure, replacing table salt with a table salt product that contains small amounts of CHITOSAN or symbiosyl might help lower blood pressure in people with high blood pressure. Obesity. Taking CHITOSAN by mouth while on a calorie-restricted diet can improve weight loss in people who are overweight or obese, but only by a very small amount. Recovering after surgery. Applying CHITOSAN gel might prevent scar tissue from forming the sinuses after surgery, that's huge. I didn't know that about this. There's interest in using CHITOSAN for a number of purposes, but there isn't enough reliable information to say whether or not it might be helpful, other than just hearing people's stories about it or the tests that these holistic doctors, and I say holistic as in they were once doctors and in the corporate doctor world that were tired of having to meet a quota of pushing hardcore medications to patients that they didn't believe in just for the fact of getting the kickbacks or meeting a quota with their work. So they've left the corporate world of medicine and started their own private practices in a more holistic way if they can. Of course, they still prescribe medications if they need to, but they try the holistic approach first if they can. So, when taken by mouth, CHITOSAN is possibly safe when used for up to 3 months. It might cause stomach upset, constipation, or gas once you first start. When it's applied to the skin, it's possibly safe to use short term. Taken by mouth, it's safe up to 3 months. Okay, we just read that. Pregnancy or breastfeeding, there's not enough reliable information to know if it's safe or not safe. Let's see. It says shellfish allergy. So if you are allergic to shellfish, and you might want to take this because that's the main thing that it's from. Be cautious the combination. Let's see, warfarin or Coumadin interacts with CHITOSAN. It's a blood thinner, and there is some concern that taking CHITOSAN might increase the blood thinning effect of warfarin, which is a prescription drug. This could increase the risk of bruising or bleeding. So if you're on that drug, warfarin, then taking CHITOSAN might not be for you unless you can talk to your doctor about a more holistic way of getting off of warfarin, because this CHITOSAN is going to be natural for your body. So acyclovir interacts with CHITOSAN. Taking CHITOSAN with acyclovir might reduce the amount of cyclovir the body absorbs. This might reduce the effects of acyclovir. So acyclovir is something that people take if they're having an infection or a breakout in their body. Like, let's say someone's having a cold sore reaction and they want to get rid of that quicker, or they're having some type of infection going on in their body, then they would take acyclovir. So it kind of kills that bacteria and that infection in the body. And let's see, dosing. CHITOSAN has most often been used by adults dosing in 1 to 1.35 grams by mouth daily for up to 12 weeks. It can also be used as mouthwash, gels, chewing gum, eye drops, and wound dressings. Speak with your healthcare provider to find out what type of product and dose might be best for your specific condition. Okay, so how I was told about this concoction, remember, these are the 4 ingredients that are going into your at-home DIY Mounjaro. Does it work or does it not? I don't know. People have seemed to say they've had high success with it, but I'm talking about it with you right now, and you guys can decide whether or not you want to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to make my own concoction like I've been sent from another doctor, and I'm going to see. I like to try things myself before I suggest them. I don't ever suggest those shots. That's why I've never tried them before. So this one is a holistic approach. So the CHITOSAN is a 1 gram. Okay. Moving on. The next one we're going to talk about is, let me share my screen. Where is it? Right there. Okay. And now we are going into oolong. I know some of you have heard of this before. So this is the health benefits of oolong tea. So the drink, this is a drink. Like, you're not shooting this in with a needle into your body. It's not going subcutaneous. This is just going right into your mouth. Kind of like how I am with the apple cider vinegar cocktail, you guys know. So this is going into a cocktail you're making for the same benefits as Mounjaro. That's what we're talking about right now. So thank you for asking, John. I appreciate that. Okay, where was I? Oolong tea. Okay, the health benefits of oolong tea. So I'm sure some of you have heard about this before. Oolong tea. Whoops, I keep going too far. Okay, oolong tea is a traditional Chinese tea. So this kind of all got started, right? I was talking with another doctor, and I was talking about, is this something, we were talking about nationalities, right? And they were in it was a panel of people speaking, and one of them was Asian and said, why do you think us Asians can eat like sushi with rice all the time and we still stay slim? And they're saying that we drink tea, and these are the benefits. Like, if you go to Japan, where sushi was born, you don't see a whole lot of overweight people. However, they do walk more. There's definitely a lot more people that walk rather than being in a vehicle or riding a bike. And I do think that is widely beneficial. But also, they are eating carbs, a lot of carbs. They eat a lot of rice, but they're also eating a lot of shellfish and fish in general. So now you got your fatty acids. You got what I just told you about. The CHITOSAN is in there because you're getting those benefits from the fish that they're eating, and they're getting those fatty acids in there. And the tea is huge. That drinking the tea. And there's so many great benefits of green tea. And now we're talking about the Chinese tea, the oolong tea. So the oolong tea is a traditional Chinese tea. It's made from the same plant used in black and green teas, but the leaves are processed differently. That's what makes this one different. This tea making process is called oxidation. Okay, so come on, follow with me. Exposing the tea leaves to air causes them to ferment, and the length of time a tea maker allows the leaves to oxidize impacts the tea's color, flavor, and to an extent, its nutritional content. It's kind of like how it says, I don't know if some of you may not even know this, but when I got a tea or a water heater, it's like a little boiler, a kettle. Thank you, brain, for coming back. The kettle, and it will say, do you want to heat this water for oolong tea? Do you want to heat this water, the temperature for green tea? Do you want to heat it for French press? Or do you want it to boil? So it has all of the different heating elements, how hot it should be for these different types of teas. And there's a reason behind it, because you don't want to, like what they say, don't overcook your vegetables, because you're cooking out all the nutrition. You're burning it out. So same type of thing with the tea. It's a whole process. So this tea making process is called oxidation, and you only want to make the tea leaves a certain amount with a certain amount of heat, so you don't take all the benefits out. So green tea is unoxidized, which helps it retain some plant-based antioxidants like catechins, which would be lost or converted during oxidation. Black tea is fully oxidized, giving it a deeper, richer flavor. This fermentation process also forms nutrients called theaflavins, powerful antioxidants unique to oxidized teas. Let me go here and bring that up. Oolong teas fall somewhere in between green and black tea. Products sold range from low to high levels of oxidation, and the color of the tea gets darker based on how long the leaves were left to ferment. Greener oolong teas tend to have a rich, earthy taste, while darker varieties offer a more roasted flavor. So it's kind of like with your coffee. Do you prefer a darker roast or a lighter roast? Even though the lighter roast has more caffeine in it, and has more caffeine in it because you haven't burnt the bean up so much. So that's why when you get to a darker roast, because it's been sitting and roasting for a little bit longer, giving it that more robust taste, it's got less caffeine in it. So same concept as these tea leaves. Oolong teas fall somewhere, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Greener oolong teas tend to have a rich, earthy taste, while darker varieties offer more roasted flavor. Health benefits. As a semi-oxidized tea, oolong tea contains a range of antioxidants, including many found in both green and black teas. Antioxidants are nutrients that protect our cells from damage caused by aging and lifestyle in the environment. Antioxidants are what your body needs to fight off all of these things that are constantly under attack on your body. Antioxidants are nutrients caused by aging. Sorry, I have to keep going back and forth. Our lifestyle and environment. Over time, this damage contributes to chronic diseases. All teas contain high levels of antioxidants that offer a range of health benefits. However, research shows that the nutrients in oolong tea have stronger antioxidants and anti-mutagenic effects than green or black varieties. So it's saying it's a little bit more potent in the antioxidants than your green and black teas. Oolong tea's powerful antioxidants and other nutrients may offer health benefits like, let me get back over to you. Research shows that polyphenols in oolong tea lower blood sugar levels. So now we're talking about just from drinking this, absorbing this in your body, you're lowering your blood sugar levels. Also reduces insulin resistance. So you guys know that if you've been on this channel, you know what I'm always talking about with insulin resistance is when you have had too much insulin spike for too long of a period, your body gets very resistant to it. So meaning if you're constantly eating foods in high carbs and high sugars, you're going to be more insulin resistant, meaning your body is going to take a little bit longer to start releasing that fat and bring your insulin down than somebody who maybe only eats sweets and high carb meals, every other day or every once in a while. So if you're someone who's eating it constantly throughout the day, high sugars, high carbs, then you're going to be much more insulin resistant. So this oolong tea is going to help reduce your insulin resistance, a condition where the body doesn't properly use sugars in the blood. So it's not using that sugar as fuel to burn off, it's storing it is what's happening. And then you're getting that fat storage and you're filling that puppy up. High blood sugar and insulin resistance are both risk factors for diabetes and other health conditions like obesity, because now you're just storing up all this stuff. Oolong tea's polyphenols activate an enzyme that breaks down the triglycerides, a type of fat in your body. So what this is saying is when you drink this tea, now it's going to activate the triglycerides, and this is the fat that's stored in your body. So once you digest this, it's going in and immediately going, okay, where's the fat at? Let's go. Let's get at it. And then in the meantime, it's bringing down your blood sugar because now it's starting to get to that stored fat and burn it up for you. How beautiful is that? Oolong tea. Come on, bring it on. Breaks down the triglycerides, type of body fat. These triglycerides contribute to the thickening of the artery walls, also increasing the risk of stroke, heart attack, and other heart diseases as well. So, research also shows oolong tea can also lower your cholesterol. Who doesn't have high cholesterol that's been eating like that? I mean, I eat pretty healthy, and because of the pork rinds that I was constantly diving into, even though it's great in other nutritional benefits, it's so high in sodium that it took my cholesterol and went through the roof. But if you're taking this, like I say, with the apple cider vinegar, if you're eating a sweet treat or something that spikes your insulin real fast, you take that apple cider vinegar and it rebalances. That's not a catch-all. It's not a Band-Aid or a crutch. You should definitely try and get that sweet tooth in check. And what I say to my clients is, why don't you, if you start to feel craving, drink the apple cider vinegar cocktail first, and that will curb your hunger and your craving, because it curbs cravings. It gets your pH balance back in check, which curbs the craving. So if you have that first, then you won't go down that road. So unless you're just so mentally like stubborn and you're like, no, I'm having that anyway, it's not worth it. Trust me on that. You should know it's not worth it in the end for that little 15 seconds of a dopamine rush, serotonin released in the body. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So oolong tea's polyphenols activate an enzyme that breaks down the triglycerides, a type of fat in your body. These triglycerides contribute to the thickening of the artery walls. Okay, so I already said that. Research shows that oolong tea can also lower your cholesterol, which at high levels is another disease for heart. Look here, Bo, if you're still here and you're still with me, there you go. You need some oolong tea in your life, honey. There you go. Get that oolong tea and you get your heart, your artery walls less. Look at all those benefits. There we go. That's where you want to be. So, weight management. Research suggests that oolong tea may decrease body fat. Of course it does. It's already talking about your polyphenols up there in your triglycerides. It's going to work already for you once you put it in your body. Research suggests that oolong tea may decrease body fat and boost your metabolism while keeping your arteries in check and your blood flow. Reduce the risk of obesity and aiding in weight loss while also keeping your insulin in check and helping you be less insulin resistant, which is the ultimate goal. Studies show oolong tea stimulates fat burning and increases the number of calories your body burns percent. So your body will burn 3.4 more percentage of fat and getting rid of those fat storage tanks in your body. That's a big deal. That is an absolutely big deal just from drinking the tea. Okay, cognitive support. If all that wasn't enough, a little bit of infomercial, but wait, there's more. So the cognitive support. Oolong tea is high in an amino acid called L-theanine, which, listen up, this is huge. L-theanine, which studies show have cognitive effects. I take L-theanine like separately, individually. Show has cognitive effects like improved brain activity, better sleep quality, and reduced stress and anxiety. Who doesn't want that this day and age? In addition, oolong tea's antioxidants have brain protective properties that may help prevent neurodegenerative diseases in which parts of the nervous system stop working. You heard that? That is from a tea, you guys. Better sleep, reduced stress, reduced anxiety, and because of the antioxidants, the rich, powerful antioxidants in this particular tea, because of the oxidation process, it helps prevent neurodegenerative diseases, which is when parts of your nervous system stop working. And what happens when that happens? When those parts stop working. Now you're talking about Alzheimer's and dementia. Nobody wants to put their kids through that. Scientists or people that they love, you don't have to have kids to not want Alzheimer's or dementia. Scientists continue to study the tea's potential in preventing diseases related to cognitive decline like Alzheimer's and dementia. Okay? If you know anybody that is going through any of these things or could benefit you, this is what this channel is about. It's about sharing the information. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the follow and the donation. I appreciate you. This is what this channel is about. It's about sharing information with you guys so you have the knowledge. Knowledge is power, you guys. You have the knowledge to do with it what you will with your own particular. You have the choice. No doctor is going to tell you what you can or cannot do with your body. If you have these other options that you want to try, tell that to your doctor and say, I want to give this a go. How do we make this work in conjunction to my medication, weaning myself off the medication? How long do we need to work with this holistic approach, et cetera, et cetera? Maybe when you go in, your vitals are going with flying colors and they're like, wait a second, you don't need to be on this high dosage of this medication or your heart or your blood pressure or anything. Everything's balanced and in check. That's the information you want. That's what you want. That's the check-in you want to bring to your doctor. So now you can say, okay, great. Let's start weaning off of all of those medications that are tearing up my pancreas, my liver, my spleen, my thyroid, my gallbladder, all the things, my kidneys. That's where we're getting at. We're getting there because that's what we want. We want to live the best life from the inside out without doing any damage that's going to possibly cause you cancer in the long run. Nobody wants that. And here are some great options. Okay. Many of oolong tea's health benefits are contributed to its antioxidants like polyphenols, but it also contains other health-boosting vitamins and minerals. Research shows that oolong tea's fluoride content is comparable to what dentists recommend to prevent cavities. So even absorbing this in your mouth, swishing your tea around in your mouth, can help kill the bacteria inside of your mouth to where you're not getting cavities. How crazy is this tea? Already it's lowering your insulin levels, lowering your blood sugar, helping your arteries and your heart. It's lowering your inflammation. How many benefits can this possibly have? I can't even. It may also reduce the risk of tooth loss and oral cancer. Oolong tea is also an excellent source of magnesium, potassium, manganese. Oh, magnesium is the first one. Niacin, sodium. Hold on, let me swoop up. Nutrients per serving, blah, blah. Carbohydrates, 0.36. Portion size, because oolong tea, okay, this is important for those people that are caffeine sensitive. Oolong tea contains caffeine. Drinking in high amounts, because I know I'm already going to be getting some messages. If you guys do have messages or you want to reach out to me and you have another question, you can reach out to me at behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com and ask me any questions that you want to, or if you have a topic that you want me to cover. But this is one that many patients, clients, and friends and family have been discussing. And I just had the doctor's meeting with the panel and talking about these natural and holistic ways. So I hope you're listening up, taking notes. But yes, you can reach out to me with any questions that you might have about that. But I know I'm already going to get questions like, this is so beneficial. This is so good for you. I need to get my blood sugar down. I need to get my insulin in check. I need to get my, all of these benefits that I've been talking about. I need all of that. How many cups can I drink a day? Like, I want to just get on it. This is not something that you should just be pounding down all day long because of the caffeine. So just as you're looking at the benefits of it, you also have to look at the caffeine effects of it too if you are caffeine sensitive. Meaning maybe you don't want to drink this after a certain time because you might not get great sleep because you drink too much of it. And this is why. So we're on the second one, right? We're talking about the DIY cocktail that's supposed to be doing the same thing for your body as Mounjaro, the Mounjaro weight loss shot, right? So now we talked about CHITOSAN, which is the ingredient that is in like shellfish, which if you are allergic to shellfish, it's not going to be right for you. Oolong is another one of the 4 ingredients that should be mixed together. So the oolong tea, but if you are, I would say 2 cups 3 at the max, but 2 cups because it's looking like it says, hold on, because oolong tea contains caffeine, drinking in high amounts can have an adverse side effect like headaches, irritability, increased heart rate, and insomnia. So the doctors that I was speaking to, they were like, since we're talking about a whole concoction of things, you only need 1 cup tea bag in this concoction that you're going to do per day. So experts recommend not exceeding 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. So some people I know that have been doing this process that have seen major results, and they've been doing it over a study of the last 6 months, seeing how much weight they can lose naturally without taking Mounjaro, without messing with any other weight loss pills. They're just doing this cocktail one time a day in the morning. And then they're creating this scenario weight loss like taking Mounjaro. However, it's all natural. It's good for your body. It's beneficial for your body, and it's not creating some weird side effects like losing your eyesight, getting lumps and cancer in your thyroid, having to remove your gallbladder and parts of your intestines because you're having all of these gut problems with these long-term Mounjaro, Wegovy, Ozempic. So this is something that we're now finally able to get out there, as doctors are able to put stuff out there that is not going to be shut down because now we're able to have that freedom of speech thing happening. So with that comes its own side effects, like with the caffeine, not having too much. A lot of people, well, I got sidetracked there. A lot of people that have started this and doing that 6-month trial that I was talking about are now alternating with their coffee. So instead of maybe they'll do an extra cup of oolong tea in a day instead of their coffee. So, and then the next day they'll do their coffee, and then they'll do the concoction that we're talking about. So it's kind of counterbalancing. You're never just adding extra caffeine to it. You're going to substitute it if you're a coffee drinker. And it has very powerful caffeine in it anyway. So not as much as coffee, okay? Because 1 cup of oolong tea contains 38 milligrams per serving, as opposed to but guess, I mean, you're doing a little cup of tea rather than maybe like a 16-ounce coffee, where you're having like 150, 200 milligrams in there. So you just have to be aware of what you're doing. Be aware. So this is only 38 milligrams of caffeine, okay? So how to prepare the oolong tea? Like I said, the kettle that I have is an electric kettle, and it has on the top of it, if you are heating the water enough, or you're heating it just hot enough for oolong tea, just hot enough for, I think it was like $20. I'm going to put the link under this video on my YouTube channel. Everything is on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to know what's going on with everything that I'm putting on here, all the information, all the links, and everything is going to be on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming this podcast is from my YouTube channel. I just stream it out to all of my networks. But at Kara Chris TV, I'll put the link to this kettle. And it is perfect because it is not ever going to overcook or overheat your tea leaves so you don't get the full benefit. Yeah, you might be drinking that green tea and feeling like you're getting great benefits, but you might not be even getting any of the benefits because you burnt the tea leaves too much with your hot boiling water. And now you don't have any of the nutrition. Same thing as it goes for your vegetables that you cook. You don't want to overcook them because now you're losing all the benefits. Same as what happens in a dark roast coffee. Because the bean is sat there for so long in dark roasting, you've now lost a lot of the caffeine. Light roast has more caffeine. So, same goes for everything that you're doing. You don't want to kill all of the benefits, the health benefits. But this kettle will say oolong tea, green tea, herbal teas. It's got all different settings. French press for your coffee, all those settings. It will heat that water to the perfect temperature for these teas. Okay. So oolong tea is widely available where other teas are sold, and you can often find it on cafe and restaurant menus. Sorry, this text is so tiny. It's available in loose leaf form or prepackaged in tea bags. So, I just have the tea bags because I already know it's already weighted out for me, and my mornings are already so busy. So, whatever I can skip a little step, I'm going to do it. So to make it at home, you want to use water that is just shy of boiling, around 190 degrees Fahrenheit or 90 degrees Celsius. This ensures the best flavor profile, but also reduces nutrients lost. Higher water temperature can destabilize and reduce the tea's antioxidants like its polyphenols, and those are the things you really, really want, those polyphenols. Researchers found that oolong tea has the strongest antioxidant activity when soaked at these temperatures for 3 minutes. That was another thing I was going to talk about. Ask Google or Alexa or whatever, Siri, ask Siri cancel, sorry. Ask what is the best time to cook any of the teas that you're on. Like even your French press is a 4 minute. So I always set my timer to make sure you don't overcook. You don't want to make it a toxic drink. You can make it into a toxic drink and now it's causing harm instead of getting the beautiful benefits. So make sure that's so, so, so important. Okay. Researchers found that the oolong tea has the strongest antioxidant when soaked for 3 minutes. So you're going to put this at the 190 degrees Fahrenheit or the 90 degrees Celsius for all of my Canadians watching. And then do that for 3 minutes. That's it. Take that tea bag out and be done with it. I take it out and wrap it around the spoon and squeeze it, get all the nutrients out. Researchers found that you can also serve it iced by brewing it with hot water first and then allowing it to cool. If you are some people just don't like drinking hot tea or hot tea, hot coffees. So you just wait for that whole process, still do the same process, but just wait for it to cool. And then to make the perfect cup, prepare about 2 tablespoons of loose leaf tea or 1 tea bag. Heat the water just shy of boiling water. I said, 3 minutes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we already got that. All right, so this is so incredible just to even think about that. Okay, so going over to we talked about CHITOSAN, we talked about oolong tea. Okay, the third ingredient in our 4 ingredients for our homemade Mounjaro. Okay, let me come back here. We are going to okay, it's FUCOXANTHIN, but it's spelled, you'll see. I'm going to share my screen. So this is screen share. Here we go. This is the next ingredient in our homemade Mounjaro. And go in here, minimize. Here we go. All right, this is called FUCOXANTHIN. And what is FUCOXANTHIN? You might ask. I'm about to tell you. I hope that if you are watching this, you guys are writing it down or take a screenshot so you can know. When I was talking with the doctors about this and we were having our little Zoom roundtable, these are the things that have been tested and been in trial and error tests to find out what the effects of they are on your body. Sorry, my words are just trying to get stuck in there. Uses. Fucoxanthin is a member of the carotenoid family and is found naturally in some types of seaweed, such as wakame. So I know we've already talked about the shellfish. Seaweed is highly beneficial because of the iron benefits. So now you can see kind of where it's getting at why, the Japanese and the sushi and all of that, how people can eat that type of rice and eat the amounts of rice that they eat without gaining the weight that we do here. And a big part of that is because these other ingredients are doing their job of blocking that from being absorbed and turned into fat by increasing our insulin levels. So this is a big deal. Okay. These are and tried and true, right? It's one of the smallest nations with obesity. They're the size of the people there. And the obesity percentage of the people that are obese in that area are very low, very low. So animal studies by one group of research suggest that fucoxanthin might prevent the growth of fat tissue and reduce abdominal fat. However, no studies have been done to see if this effect is achievable in humans, which is not true. This is on, what is this on Healthline? Hold on, let me see. No, this is peace.health. There are plenty of studies going on for this concoction. It just hasn't been released out there to the public yet because they're trying to get enough information and studies underway to be able to have a tried and true result for you. Okay, so anti-cancer properties of fucoxanthin have also been identified in test tube studies, and anti-inflammatory effects have been shown in test tube and animal research. Whether any of these potential health effects could help humans in a certain blah, blah, blah. Okay, more research is needed. All right, so what does fucoxanthin do? Okay, so see, what is this? Information, blah, blah, blah. Information does not replace the advice of a doctor. Really? That was it? No. Where's the one I was looking at? Laboratory studies suggest fucoxanthin reduces inflammation and oxidative stress and may inhibit dietary fat absorption by inhibiting fat digestive enzymes known as lipases. It also appears to improve lipid metabolism and increase fat burning. So, because of its unstable structure and the allynic bond, fucoxanthin showed high antioxidant levels, more so like what we have discovered with the oolong tea. So it's all about that antioxidant level, which fights off those free radicals, which fights a lot of the things in your body that causes complete havoc and putting that weight on. Wait, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Where is it? Moreover, fucoxanthin also shown anti-obesity, anti-diabetes, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and hepatoprotective activities, as well as cardiovascular and cerebrovascular protective effects. Sorry, it's a mouthful, especially I haven't said a lot of these words since studying them in school. So, what is the use of fucoxanthin? Fucoxanthin has a strong antioxidant capacity by scavenging singlet molecular oxygen and free radicals. Also, it exerts an anti-inflammatory effect. Studies have demonstrated potential health benefits of fucoxanthin for the prevention of chronic disease such as cancer, obesity, diabetes, mellitus, and liver disease. So, I mean, hello. Those are some big things. Does it help you lose weight? This is what it is. So fucoxanthin is a brown seaweed extracted from carotenoid and has exhibited anti-obesity property in some clinical trials through its ability to overexpress uncoupling protein. So that's the UCP1 in the white adipose tissue, which leads to fat burning. So pretty much what the doctors that we spoke with on the panel have described this as is it goes in, right? Once you introduce it to your body, it goes in and literally searches out fat. It goes to search the fat out and destroy it. That's the main goal of it, fat and inflammation. So those are the two things that it goes after and attacks in full. That's what you want. That's the same type of thing that's happening with the Mounjaro because it's creating these other cells, except this is doing it not much. It's a natural form. This is it. It's a natural. It's an herb, not manufactured in any type of laboratory. Okay, where did it go? Okay. It's a brown seaweed extracted from, I already read all that. What foods contain this brown seaweed? Who eats brown seaweed and where do you get it from? Not many people that I know. So there are companies that give you the dried out version and have turned it into a powder, and they put into like vegetarian biodegradable capsules that are able to be digested naturally, like a gelatin almost capsule into your body, so you're able to swallow it like a pill. But we're making this into a cocktail, so I got the powder form to mix in with the oolong tea and the CHITOSAN. Okay, so we're creating a power force for this cocktail, this concoction, so it can all go in and do the same type of thing as if you're taking the shot, right? So FUCOXANTHIN is available from farmed or wild brown seaweed and can be extracted using several methods such as solvent extraction, SAE, which is solvent assisted extraction, enzyme assisted extraction, ultrasound assisted extraction, which you don't need to really worry about how you're going to extract it if you can buy it. There's so many great options to purchase this online. Oops, sorry. Of people that are already doing this. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to get on it. You got to find it and get on it. And I'm going to post all the links to these ingredients that assuming YouTube does not take this down, I'm going to put it on my YouTube. I really hope that it's up. If not, I'll go ahead and post the links for these particular things, plus the kettle that heats everything up to a certain degree, to the perfect degree that it needs to be. I'll put all these links on my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, along with my YouTube, just in case they shut this down. Flag me for giving information out there that they don't want you to have. These were sent to me by doctors, and these are already in trial testing for the last 6 months to a year. And they were working. There's been great success, especially with the cognitive, the arteries, the blocking of the fat, the insulin levels, the clarity in the mind, the sharpness of the neurology part of it. So let me see what else I lose. Okay. What are the side effects of FUCOXANTHIN? There's no clear evidence that there are any side effects, and that's from the studies also. It's a supplement extracted from algae. Have you ever heard like, oh, if you have a sickness or soreness, or your body is got some ailments or some inflammation or wounds, open wounds, could be on the outside or wounds on the inside, and people say go to the ocean will heal you. Well, it's because it has all of the natural properties like this that get into your bloodstream and help you literally heal. Not to mention being next to that big body of water like that also has some very mental, stabilizing, healing properties to it as well. So let me see. Animal studies show that has no adverse side effects. In human studies, overweight adults taking FUCOXANTHIN for 4 weeks had no abnormal vital side effects. FUCOXANTHIN is not toxic to normal cells. FUCOXANTHIN is selectively absorbed in the intestines, so it doesn't accumulate in human tissue. So it's naturally absorbed. The Food and Drug Administration has approved FUCOXANTHIN as a dietary ingredient. FUCOXANTHIN is unstable and can break down when heated exposed to air or illuminated. Not sure what it means by illuminated. Fucoxanthin may help treat non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by reducing oxidative stress, inflammation, and lipid droplets. You know, that visceral fat that I'm constantly talking about that can be stored. You could be going through perimenopause or menopause, and all of a sudden you're getting this like belly fat. This will help that. This will tackle that. Or B, you're a drinker, or you're a drinker and you're going through perimenopause or menopause, and you're having you're doubling down on the issue of the visceral fat around your organs. It's the worst type of fat to have, is around the fat around your organs. And that is the hardest to lose if you're not doing anything appropriate to lose it, as in working out, going on walks, eating better, that kind of thing. And now, or drinking the oolong tea or the fucoxanthin. So there's many ways that you can tackle it, but doing nothing about it is going to keep that spare tube, that tire around the belly, going to keep it there and not going to go anywhere. So especially with that visceral fat, is very hard to tackle. So something like this, the fucoxanthin, is really good for that. It's also able to treat gastric cancer by inducing cell cycle arrest and apoptosis. Let's see what that is. The STAT3 protein is an important nuclear transcription factor that activates genes coding for inflammatory factors and tumor stimulation. Wow. This is in the National Institute of Health.gov. Before we go there, let me finish right here. Okay, so seaweed supplements can cause skin reactions, goiter, and sometimes intestinal issues if you're taking too much of it. More research is needed to determine the safety of fucoxanthin and human consumption, human benefits of blah, blah, blah. How long does it take for fucoxanthin to work? In terms of how long it takes to work, the answer will vary depending on a number of factors, including the individual's unique metabolism, the amount of fucoxanthin they are taking. In general, however, it is typically recommended to give fucoxanthin at least a few weeks to start showing results. That's what I was going to tell you too. Let me see. What's the market price of fucoxanthin? The recent market price for 1 kilogram, is 40,000 US dollars. Well, not going to be buying a kilogram, but I do have my link for the one I got, and it was like $30. So current advances in recovery, but I don't know how much fucoxanthin should I take. So 2.4 milligrams, 3 milligrams, or 275 milligrams at most. This concoction I'm doing is 3 milligrams. So I'm doing 3 milligrams of this, 2 milligrams of CHITOSAN, and then 1 tea bag of the oolong tea. For example, a study used 2.5 per day for 16 weeks. And another study used 3 capsules twice daily, each containing 275 milligrams and 275 milligrams of HSFX. A study used 300 milligrams of brown seaweed extract containing 2.4 milligrams of fucoxanthin for 16 days. Okay, and let's see what happened in 16 days. Combination of 300 milligrams. So what I'm doing is the 3 milligrams of fucoxanthin. That's what the concoction I'm creating is going to have. And yep. Okay, so 3 milligrams. What are the precautions? If you're pregnant, nursing, taking any medications, or have any medical conditions, consult your doctor. So it is already approved for dietary needs. It's very beneficial for you. It's been shown no side effects thus far. It's all natural. It is brown seaweed. It's seaweed from the ocean. So you've got the CHITOSAN, the oolong tea, the fucoxanthin, and now our final is the acetic acid. And that is also what you find in your apple cider vinegar, you guys. You guessed it. Apple cider vinegar. Correct. Thank you, April. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow and the donation. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate you. Acidic. So there you go. You like that. My hashtag is still up there for support mom's side hustle. So this is hey, it's been getting great traffic for that. Acetic acid. Oh, let me go back. There we go. Acetic acids, eardrop that can be used to treat outer ear infection, swimmer's ear, blah, blah, blah. No. What is acetic acid? Ear network mechanism. Acid kills bacteria, cell membranes. Okay, maybe I typed this in wrong. No, this is not it. Just kidding. Let me go back here. And let's put the right thing in. I guess this is what, that's not what it is though. It is pH and acetic acid. That's it. Properties of an acetic acid. Flashpoint. Blah, blah, blah. Are you on the same page as me? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So it's in the same. Let me just play this. Let me see if you can see this. Can you see this on your screen? There we go. Here we go. And video.
Vinegar is a household essential, often used for cooking, and it even helps unclog sinks. What chemical substance makes vinegar smell the way it does? Vinegar is actually a solution that is made of 4 to 8% of acetic acid that is dissolved in water and other substances that give vinegar its flavor, depending on its type. Acetic acid, also known as ethanoic acid and methane carboxylic acid, is a colorless liquid that has a strong and distinct pungent and sour smell. Its chemical formula is C2H4O2. It has 2 carbon atoms, 4 hydrogen atoms, and 2 oxygen atoms. Because it has a carbon in its chemical formula, it is an organic compound. Its chemical formula can be written multiple ways, as shown here. Now that we know the chemical formula of acetic acid, let's talk about its chemical structure. Its chemical structure is shown in the following illustration. Here we can see 2 ways to draw its chemical structure. On the left, 1, all the carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms and how they are bonded to each other are shown. On the right, 2, instead of writing the carbon atom, it is represented by an edge or bend in the line, and the hydrogen atoms attached to the first carbon on the left are not shown. The chemical structure of carboxylic acid shows that the first carbon on the left has single bonds with 3 hydrogen atoms. The second carbon, on the other hand, has a double bond with the oxygen atom and is singly bonded with the first carbon and the negative OH group. Let's take a closer look at the chemical structure of acid. Acetic acid is classified as a carboxylic acid. A carboxylic acid, shown as RCOOH, is a group of organic compounds that contain a carboxyl group. Here, the R group in the carboxylic acid structure may contain 1 or more carbon and or hydrogen atoms. A carboxyl group is the negative COOH group boxed in red. Because acetic acid contains a carboxyl group as well, it is classified as a carboxylic acid. In fact, acetic acid is also known as the second.
Is that for real? Okay. Register to view this? Oh my gosh. We did not just waste that time, you guys. We so did. Definitely not registering. I have enough going on in my email. So, okay. That was like the nerdy version of it. But I like the breakdown of the cells and the molecules that are going on in your body because it helps give me a better idea of what the construction of the molecule and how it's changing or what's in it and how it changes and affects your body. And sometimes it's more understandable when you're having a diagram, but that just went like full nerd right there. So let me see this.
After a deadly leak at the Lyondell Basel facility in LaPorte, you're going to be hearing a lot about acetic.
Okay, I'm going to share this. Oh, I am sharing this already. Oh, there's my face. Let me put her face. Oh yeah. Here you go. Hopefully there's no having to see the rest of this and having to put put my information.
Acid, the chemical that killed 2 workers and sent 6 more workers to the hospital with burns. I'm Brandy Smith, breaking down what we know about acetic acid. I went straight to the National Library of Medicine for this one. It describes acetic acid as a clear, flammable liquid and vapor that's incredibly corrosive.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I put it in. Hold on. Wrong. Put it in apple cider. I brought up a liquid that is supposed to be in vinegar. There it is. A liquid that is like in a laboratory. I'm sorry. Whoopsie. Okay, that was my error for spelling that absolutely wrong. This is carbonated and trace minerals and minerals that no, I didn't. Okay, I'm sharing this with you. Lord mercy. See, welcome to the live show. Here is the screen share, and here it is. I'm going to share that so you can read it along with me. Okay, so nutrition. Apple cider vinegar is 94% water and 5% acetic acid with 1% carbohydrates for no fat or protein. So this, remember, for those of you who are just joining, hi, welcome to the stream. This is our all-natural version of at-home made Mounjaro, which is the fat loss shot. And we've already talked about the other 3 ingredients, which is CHITOSAN, oolong, and FUCOXANTHIN. And now it's the apple cider vinegar that contains the acetic acid, very small amount of acetic acid, carbohydrates, and trace amounts of minerals and vitamins. So it's got the probiotics, the polyphenols, and the pectin in it, which are the things that you also need to help curb their appetite, keep that weight off, keep your insulin in check, the inflammation in check, getting all of those same benefits that you're getting from the Mounjaro without the side effects of very harmful side effects of losing your vision, getting the rare form of thyroid cancer, having to remove your gallbladder or parts of your intestines. It's all natural. So the main component of vinegar that gives it a sour taste may help kill harmful bacteria, help with your blood sugar controlling, suppressing enzymes that break down carbs into sugars. So it suppresses those, enhances glucose uptake from the bloodstream, delaying gastric emptying, which is all the things that happen with the trizepatide or the semaglutides. So probiotics may boost healthy bacteria in the microbiome in your gut, breaking down everything. Polyphenols, which are huge, we really want those. An antioxidant that may reduce cellular damage. So when you're taking this along with the oolong tea and the fucoxanthin, those are the things that are going to help you with that cell regeneration. Your skin's going to get better. Your hair is going to grow thicker. Your nails are going to get better. Your gut, your biodome inside is going to be better. Your inflammation is going to be better. Your arteries in your heart disease is going to get better. Your blood pressure is going to get better. Your insulin is going to get less resistant. You're going to bring your insulin down. Your blood sugars are going to get better. I mean, the list goes on because these are all natural, beautiful ingredients that your body really loves and will respond to. Also, the neuroscience behind it, which is the cognitive support. You're getting sharper, you're getting clearer, you're getting more level-headed, you're getting more balanced. And who doesn't want all that? You're getting more sleep. So the concoction that I have talked about with the doctors that we have been going through the studies are in the CHITOSAN, the oolong. So the CHITOSAN is going to be 1.3 milligrams, right? I'm sorry, 1 gram. My bad. 1 gram, you're doing the 1 tea bag of the oolong mixed in with the 3 milligrams of the fucoxanthin. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. And that is your drink that you're going to have each day to help keep all of those symptoms that I just talked about in check. So for people that are trying to get off of, oh, you have to tell me about that. Sorry, I just got sidetracked from looking at Bo's comment. To keep people that have been on Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro, and they're trying to wean themselves off of it. Now maybe you've reached your weight and you're trying to get off of that, and now you're worried, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to maintain this? Am I going to go right back to where I was? My doctor says I need to stay on this forever. No, you don't. You don't. This is a way you can do it. This is a way you can wean yourself off of it. If you're trying to go down from now doing one shot a week to one shot every other week, until eventually you're just doing the one shot every 3 weeks, every month, and then no shots. So when you're starting to introduce this concoction, and I'm going to put this on my website, on my YouTube channel at Kara Chris TV, Facebook at Kara Chris TV, Instagram at Kara Chris TV, X, and TikTok, all at Kara Chris TV. Go there and you're going to see all the information up there, the concoction. You can make it at home. Let me know how it goes for you. Make sure you talk to your doctor if you do have a very complicated medical history. Make sure you talk to them about all of the things, because it does matter if you are allergic to shellfish. You don't want to put the CHITOSAN in there. And I'm going to put what is not to go in there if you have certain things, like if you're on a blood thinner or you're taking acyclovir because you have like cold sore breakouts, or you're using it to clear out infections in your body. You don't want to take that if you're taking a blood thinner. One particular blood thinner is the only one that has been listed from the doctors to have a side effect from the CHITOSAN. But the oolong tea, the FUCOXANTHIN, and the apple cider vinegar, you're good to go. It's the CHITOSAN is the one that's the shellfish that you would really have to kind of keep your eye on with medications that you're taking, or if you are allergic to shellfish. So the benefit of, pectin may present in apple cider vinegar. Vitamins may include B1, B2, B6, biotin, folic acid, niacin, pantothenic acid, and vitamin C. These are all that are located inside of the very nutritious apple cider vinegar. You guys know I'm all about that. Like, that is like centuries, you guys, with this apple cider vinegar. Not just a couple years or a decade or even a few hundred years, centuries with this apple cider vinegar. Minerals may include sodium, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, iron, and magnesium. This is like a superfood. I know you guys have like seen it out there, heard about apple cider vinegar, the beautiful benefits of it. I'm a huge advocate of apple cider vinegar, but that is just one ingredient of these 4 beautiful ingredients that will help you keep on track even better than you were before, keeping your appetite in check. Also combined with their intermittent fasting and our fasting schedule, I'm telling you right now, this is your one-stop shop to how to keep that weight off, living your best life, living in your best life that you possibly can without breaking the bank, with little time investment, and literally like a whole new you. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. Your aches and pains are going to be gone. Your inflammation is going to be in check. Your insulin is going to be in check. You're going to stop all your cravings. It's endless. It's endless. And for something that's all natural and healthy to your body and not going to leave you with the blindness and the thyroid issues, gallbladder issues, intestinal issues, to me, it's a no-brainer. And I know that a lot of people have reached out to me. If you do want to reach out to me, you have any questions, you can reach me at behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. All spelled out, behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you want to obtain my services to help you, I have a very small fee, and you can go to my website, karachristiansen.com. I will guide you all the way through to the end and getting you off, or at least decreasing those medications like I've done other patients. To follow any of my channels to get any of my knowledge is free to do. If you want to do my workouts and do the classes and stuff with me, you can go to my Facebook channel. That's only $9.99 a month. And we do classes and I help guide you to getting back on track with your exercises, whether it's chair exercises or you're doing, excuse me, resistant band exercises, at home workouts, or at the gym. I will walk you through it. We do classes and for all levels, ages, and stages. So that's only on Facebook. And then, like I said, my website is Kara Christensen. My last name is spelled Christ, ENSEN.com. And you can go on there and see what services I offer. But I promise, like I said earlier in this podcast, 98.9% of everyone that I have ever worked with has stuck to this program, kept the weight off, and still living their best life, and so grateful for doing so and taking the plunge. So I've never had a bad result. The only people, there's very, very tiny, teensy percentage of people that have just kind of fallen back off the wagon and didn't get back on. But they still reach out to me and saying, thank you for showing me the way, because when they're ready to get back on, they will. A couple of them have gone to doing the shots, and now they're like reaching out saying, okay, I need to get off this pronto because now I'm worried. So this is the way to do it. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follow and the donation. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. People are really loving the hashtag Mom Side Hustle. I do appreciate you guys showing so much love for that. Behind the Layers, yes, Tom. Behind the Layers is the podcast is about uncovering all the layers, the truths, the facts, the myths, the do's, the don'ts, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the health, wellness, fitness, and beauty industry. So that's what we do here. I deep dive. I talk to my doctors that I have on my panel. We research these things together. I put the information out there for you guys to see and research on your own. I'm very transparent with everything that I do, and I'm all about bringing you the best possible information so you can have the knowledge you need to live the best life from the inside out. Literally, that's what this channel is for. So I feel like knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you can decide what's right for you. And a lot of people have been reaching out to me regarding this subject about, my doctor said I need to be on this forever. Is this the case? So that stirred up this topic for today's podcast. So I hope that you guys have learned something. If you haven't watched it from the beginning, please do go back and watch it. It is going to be posted up live. Posted up on the places that you're watching it live right now. So you can go back and watch it from the jump. And if you know anybody that is suffering from these things, or maybe they're on the shot and they're ready to get off the shot and they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, how to navigate from there, please do send them my information. They can reach out to me at behindthelayerspodcast@gmail.com. And they can also go to my website and fill out a form there for free for me to reach back out to them on working with them on a more intimate level. KaraChristiansen.com is the website. And you can check out my all organic skincare products that I just came out with this year called Timeless Rejuvenation. And everything is organic and pure and good for your skin and not harmful, or it's even good for babies. It's good for toddlers. It's good for any skin types. It will absolutely benefit you. And yes, so you guys can reach out to me there for any of the extra needs. I've already gone so far over on this podcast, but there was so much information to cover, and a lot of you have chimed in. So I wanted to get to everybody and kind of tap in on what your questions were right here on live stream in real time. But I do appreciate you guys. Remember, sharing is caring. If you have a loved one that needs some motivation, you can send them to any one of my pages, or you can send them to my website if they want a more one-on-one experience with me, and we can get them started and get them off that junk and still flourishing better than ever, because now all of those things that have been panicking in panic mode inside of your body, we are going to get them back in check, and we're going to make them better than ever. We're going to make them better than ever and stronger than ever. Make your body great again. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make your body great again. Oh my gosh, I need a t-shirt that says that. That's hilarious. Yes. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast today. I will be here tomorrow. I will not be here on Thursday, but I'll be here tomorrow and Friday. So please do like and subscribe so you can get that notification bell when I go live. And I hope to see you guys here tomorrow. My kids are home from school, so now I got to go wear my other hat and get some homework done and run those kiddos around. So I appreciate you guys for being here, and I really do hope to see you here tomorrow. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. And I appreciate being here. I'm sorry, one last thing. One last comment I'll read from Bo. A few years ago, my mom sent me organic smooth move tea. I haven't tried it yet. She sent me 3 boxes of it. I actually am a huge advocate of that tea. I really like that tea. If you're having some issues with going to the restroom, I think it's a very gentle tea. It can make you gassy, so I wouldn't suggest doing that like on a date or around anybody that you don't want, to be gassy around. But it's a great tea. I think once you go back, and if you guys didn't see this episode, it is chock full of great information about all of these weight loss shots and all of the side effects and how to re-navigate your body past the weight loss shot world. So I'm really excited to have had you here. For all of you that are new, I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope that you can join in on the conversation, which has to happen on YouTube or Facebook. Otherwise, I can't, I don't see your text feed. So you have to be up on YouTube, have this pulled up on my YouTube channel at Kara Chris TV. All of the platforms is at Kara Chris TV. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow with another great podcast of Behind the Layers. Until then, I'll see you then. Bye.